Welcome back to The Edge. Time now for our Prep Spotlight. We are joined, as usual, by our Prep expert, Doug Ritchie. Doug, time to give out a little bit of hardware.
Yeah, a little bit of hardware. No truth to the rumor that the hardware we're giving out is as big as the Stanley Cup. but we're giving out some hardware to some prep kids this show.
It's really an honor just to be nominated.
Absolutely.
Got to be honest. But we're talking high school basketball. We're talking boys tonight. Girls will be next week, but we're running down the top coaches and players from boys high school basketball this year. We start tonight with the boys small division player of the year, as per Doug Ritchie. Who you got, Doug?
We're going to go with Ben Stelzer from Roncalli, who averaged about 25 points a game this year. Twice hit 40 or more, including in his last game of his career here against Wrightstown. The kid could just fill it up and nobody could stop him.
Well, yeah, always able to get a shot off, real quick release, almost 2,000 career points. They were 22-3 this year. She can play some college ball next year, too.
Playing some college ball at Michigan Tech, they're going to like him a combo point guard because he can shoot the rock.
Yeah,
so
nice to have a guy who can run it and shoot it and still be able to fill it up just a little bit.
Yep.
Moving on to the large division player of the year. Lots of teams did very well this year. Plenty of impact players. Got to pick one, though, Doug. Who are you picking?
We picked one, and he might have been one of the smallest kids we saw all year.
It's true.
Johnny Coonan from Appleton East. He didn't even average 12 points a game, and we're picking him as our player of the year. That tells you how good this kid was. He just made plays when they had to be made. He didn't dominate the ball, got everybody involved in the offense. Plus, he was an all defensive team in the FEA, so this kid did it on both ends of the court.
Well, yeah, not huge numbers, like you said, not even 12 points a game, just 3 assists, 2 steals. But, boy, you can't measure what he meant to this team by the stat line, and came up big in the postseason, too.
Huge, especially in this game. This is where he scored 13 straight to beat Appleton West in the sectional final. It was an amazing performance. He scored 27 that day. He also threw in a 70-footer during the game. So this guy, he could play basketball.
Yeah, that's some range. You don't have to be amongst the tall trees. So
no.
Congratulations. All right, talk coaching now. Had a number of teams in Madison. We'll start with the coaching of the small divisions, 3, 4, 5. Actually, a split here.
Yeah, couldn't make up my mind.
Tough to call.
Didn't want anyone mad at me, so went with Mark Mearstein from New Lutheran, second year in a row at state. This time they got to the state semis, played Randolph as they did last year in the state finals. Great season for them. And the other coach was Mickey Martin from Littleshoot, first time ever at state.
Well, let's go with New Lutheran first. A case of having guys like Kaylor Zimmerman and those guys, or has he really got this program humming now?
I think it's humming. They've been pretty good for a while, and what happens is when you see kids getting teams to state, the younger ones want to keep it going. I talked to Mark about his team next year. He says we'll be different, which you're going to be when you lose Zimmerman, but they're still going to be good.
Well, you say Mickey Martin. Let's take a look at that team and kind of what did he mean to them. This is a younger team, really.
Real young team, and no pressure on Mickey and the boys, but they could get back to state next year because a lot of young kids, including Turner Botts, who got hurt in their state game against Racine St. Cat's, but they played great defense. They didn't have one kid average, I think, 11 points. Mm-hmm. They got to state because they played as a team. They played great defense, and that starts with the coach because he didn't have one stud to rely on.
Well, let's move now to our bigger schools, and they were well represented at state, including a state finalist, and hey, that's who ends up taking it home.
Yeah, although De Pere did not win that state championship, they won a more important award, and it's this one. Brian Winchester, Coach of the Year for De Pere, had a great season with the Redbirds getting them the state, and not much more you can say about them.
Well, yeah, we talked about Appleton East all year long, and
yep.
This is a guy who managed to get this De Pere school in there, and they could have won that absolutely classic triple overtime game.
They were a three-pointer away from winning it in regulation. They were, I guess, a timeout away maybe from winning it.
A faux timeout.
Yeah, I mean, they just played so well. Winchester had great players, but that doesn't mean you're going to win. You still got to go out and do it, and they did it.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Well, speaking of coaches, this last week, we're in the Bill Farrell, the Notre Dame girls basketball coach, resigned. Doug, tell us what you know a little bit about that situation.
Yeah, Bill handed in his resignation last week, and 4 years, 62 wins at Notre Dame, 1 state appearance. He just felt he wanted to do some work in the community, and basketball, being a coach and doing that, it's a full-time job almost now, being a varsity coach, so he's moving on. But he did a great job at Notre Dame. That's going to be a very enviable opening that people are going to go after, I think.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they've had a great program for a number of years.
Yep, they got good kids, and they're pretty young from what they had this past season. So I think the coach coming in,
he's got something to work with,
absolutely.
Well, you can get a lot more of that story on fox11online.com. Just click on sports. Well, this week was the boys. Next week was the girls. We'll be announcing those winners all through the week, and we'll start this on Tuesday, Doug, with our Small Division Player of the Year, and then Large Division Player of the Year, Small Division Coach of the Year, Large Division Coach of the Year, all through the week. Any possible splits on any of these?
There might be. There might be, and I'm not going to tell you who won what. You're going to have to tune in to find out who got the heart.